July 23rd, 2006, when the MV Cougar Ace transport ship capsized. An unidentified liquid leaked into the water. It formed a perfect Mandelbrot's fractal pattern. In the following months, strange fish were reported in the area. September 2006, Hurricane Julia approaches the US East Coast. Its strange fractal patterns and iridescence can't be explained by meteorologists. Organisms put in contact with it would begin developing odd symptoms in the following days. As the fractal spreads throughout the atmosphere, its effects first start to be seen in nature, from plants to flocks of birds. The patterns would infect anything they touched, changing their growth and behavior. The longer the contact, the stronger the effect. December 2006. The first signs of fractal infection appear in humans. Strains of Rothia dentocariosa, bacteria otherwise normal in the mouth biome, start growing in strange patterns. Their rapid spread would prove hard to control with antibiotics. Fractal syndrome is first defined as a new entity by the WHO in 2007. First, symptoms appear in growth areas, such as the skin, nails, and intestinal lining. It slowly spreads to the iris, teeth, and eventually limbs. Transmission occurs through unknown mechanisms. No treatment exists. When the fractal syndrome eventually takes hold in the brain, strange behaviors start to occur. Though the changes are unconscious at first, they are visible when crowds spontaneously form into self-repeating patterns. Children start showing fractal conducts earlier than adults. The fractal communion is established as a major religion in 2007. As their numbers explode in the millions, congregants voluntarily expose themselves to the Hasdorf DF 2.5, the substance causing fractal syndrome. They see it as an elixir capable of miracles, such as curing blindness. July 23rd, 2011, Hasdorf D 2.5. The fractal is released as a vapor over major world cities in synchronized attacks. As it rains down, it coats every surface. The attacks are planned by a radical religious collective known as the Branch. Tens of millions fall to the fractal. As major population centers across the world are affected by the fractal, authorities react by quarantining entire cities to avoid its spread. The struggle escalates into riots and open conflict against government forces. The fractal is being used as a weapon by the besieged fighters. To be continued. Holy shit! Some sort of substance that morphs anything it comes into contact with into a form that repeats infinitely into itself in a perfect fractal pattern. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Let's take some acid and just pour buckets of this crap into the street. This story plays with the idea of fractal infinity, and also humanity's impact on the environment around them. It explores how human impact on the environment has a much more wide-reaching implication than they could ever know. The effects on the environment have infinite spread potential and go all the way from the largest interconnected system to the smallest singular cell. Like a fractal! He said it! He said it! The catalyst of the story, the shipwreck, reminds me of the BP oil spill. The results are just as disastrous. Just a little bit more Lovecraftian here. As the spill of the fractal chemical seeped into the ocean, it permeated each and every fiber of the life forms around it. The plankton began to develop fractal patterns, as did the fish who eat the plankton, and plants, as do the birds who eat the fish. Through the water, through the air, and through the food chain, this fractal chemistry insidiously worked its way into every fiber of nature until it reached the obvious logical extreme. Walrus man! As of December 2006, the fractal pathogen now afflicts bacteria which take root in the human mouth, spreading from that bacterium to the human itself in no time flat. And the plaguey for the fastest zoonotic shift goes too! This created a new disease by the name of fractal syndrome. Fractal syndrome starts in areas like the skin, nails, and testicles, and slowly takes over the entire body. There is no known treatment for this disease, but it also seemingly isn't fatal, like herpes. It does, however, have unparalleled psychological effects. The human brain always does the goofiest shit when you really shake it up good. The syndrome causes people to arrange themselves with others in fractal patterned crowds, continuously acting in repetitive patterned behaviors, and drawing fractals constantly. Eventually, enough people have their brains altered by the fractal syndrome that they begin to develop some sort of groupthink. Fractal syndrome eventually transitioned into the fractal communion, using the very same chemical that started the outbreak as their sacrament, like it's their holy water. Of course, this religion did what every religion does, and they minded their own business without jamming their tenets and practices violently down everyone's throat, until they did not that. So basically, Fract Al-Qaeda made a big old cloud of fractal juice and used it as a bioweapon to convert as much of the world as possible to their religion and body structure. And they all lived happily ever after, unless they happened to not want to be a forever repeating shape. The end. Some of you might be wondering exactly what this fractal chemical is. The Hausdorff D2.5 is a reference to Hausdorff dimensions. This chemical exists in between the second and third dimensions. After making contact with something in the third dimension, it sticks to it, and pulls the third dimensional object along with it between dimensions. The things it touches get fractalized at their natural rate of change. Clouds manifest and disappear rapidly, so it quickly gets turned into fractal shapes. A human would get fractalized over years. This means that because children have faster growth rates, they would fractalize faster. This is why the Earth itself looks relatively unaffected, as a mountain would turn into a fractal over millions of years. Real talk though, I love how this work uses so many disparate elements of cycles and combines them to show how easily things can get out of hand. The fractal is a perfect symbol for forever repeating intensifying cycles, as that's exactly what a fractal is. Hence, it can be used to perfectly symbolize, I don't know, the layers of damage humans can do to the environment without even realizing it by taking action on what looks like the surface levels. Or, the functions of an ecosystem and how overlapping systems are actually interconnected on scales of size and intricacies. Or maybe the gradual morphing of a religion intended to bring people together based on sameness, and how that's actually the same as dividing other groups based on difference. Or some random goofy examples like that. I don't know. I'm a firm believer that explaining a concept is like dissecting a frog. You understand it better, but it dies in the process. Even though I'm butchering Eduardo's symbolism with my words, I feel as though the message of this story still shows through. You never know how far one teeny tiny catastrophic oil spill can go. TLDR, even the smallest of actions can have far-reaching consequences, like when a butterfly flaps its wings. And you're gay now. This story was based on the Eduardo Valdés-Hevia story and image collection called Fractals, which you should all go check out. If you want me to come back and check out more of these works, make sure to like, comment, subscribe with all notifications enabled, or I'll turn you into a forever repeating shape. Shout out the inner circle. Love y'all. Okay, bye.